Okay, we are continuing our deep dive into the beloved Heroes Unlimited. And now we're going to look at the super abilities. Now, you notice when I talked about other superhero role-playing games, I didn't really go into the powers because they were very cut and dry. You know, flight, here's the mechanics, here's how fast you can go. Energy blast, here must, but then you get to HU, and it just so much chunky goodness. I mean, if there's another superhero role-playing game out there that does this level of detail, I'm not aware of it, but just the amount of detail. So let's take, first we're going to start with the minor powers, because it separates it between minor powers and major powers. Some of the minor powers are, typical things that you'd find in any comic book role-playing game, and some of them are like, why is that there? So let's start with the minor powers. Okay, so adhesion, self-explanatory, spider climbing, but just it goes into, again, and we're going to see this over and over again, it doesn't just say, this is how fast you can walk on walls. It goes into how much weight you can carry. It covers loose rocks, oil, and bonuses to different stats, how this ability stacks with other stats. And this is how Heroes Unlimited allows you to break the fourth wall with this game. Every ability adds bonuses, and if you pick and choose the bonuses in the correct way, you can get pretty powerful pretty fast. Then we have ultra physical body, which is sort of your make myself look like somebody else. And then we have bend light, which I don't know any other character that has this power. So basically this lets you bounce light off yourself and bend light and make yourself temporarily invisible. It doesn't let you fly, it's kind of weird. Then we got body weapons, which is the power to turn your body parts into weapon. We know there's a lot of X-Men who did that, right? My hand is now a hook. And again, just bonuses, the examples. And then we have clock manipulation, which seems to only have the power to change the clock. You don't get to change time or anything like that, or have any innate sense of what time it is. You just can, hey, that clock says 7:30. Now it says 6:45. That'll screw with him. And other than disarming a bomb or dealing with locks that resolve around time, I don't know any superhero that has this power or why it was included. But it's in there. Then we get the various energy blasts. We got the classic comic book cosmic energy blast. We got electricity. We got the body field. We got fire. We got laser. We got all the general ones covered. What we don't have are things like, frost and stuff like that. So there's a lot that isn't covered for just generic energy blasts. Then we've got the heightened stats. We've got energy resistance. We've got each heightened stat and how it feeds off the other stats and all the different bonuses. And again, you can see just the bonus after bonus after bonus. And then we have super strength and all the other ones, and super speed. We have the different types of flight, winged flight, non-winged flight, sort of a featherfall parachute flight. We got healing factor, sort of, the Wolverine regeneration. We got the heightened senses, hearing, smell, taste, touch. We got the optional superpower of making people scared of you. Horror factor. There's no other emotion, there's not the hope factor that you could easily rewrite it to be hope factor, horror factor, just, sadness factor. Here's just, I have the ability to control one emotion. We got impervious to fire or heat. Then we got manipulate kinetic energy. And I think this was an attempt to do Gambit, the ability to take something that isn't meant to be a weapon and throw it and make a weapon out of it, like playing cards. Then we have a energy blast of mental stun. Not sure why this is not part of the energy blast. Multiple limbs, but it only covers a few of them. Then we just have this weird power of night stalking that's just in here, like, okay, when it's dark, I have certain powers. But when it's not dark, I don't. Which there are definitely characters that do have something like this, but where's the opposite? If there's night stalking, is there day stalking? Is there other environments? This is something that could have been built upon. Why is it here? I can definitely think that there are characters that do it. Now we've got this weird power called power channeling, which is basically their attempt to do the Iron Fist, where I can focus my chi on my punch or my kick and have it do more damage. We've got radar, which should have been in the heightened sentences. We got, infrared vision, night vision, advanced sight, x-ray vision. There's a couple missing. Then we have underwater, You know, you got to have underwater abilities on there, even though they consider underwater abilities a minor power, because let's face it, the Aquaman never gets the respect. There's a lot of powers that I think that should be in this list that are missing. But all in all, it does cover just a good starting point and gives you building blocks to recreate powers that you might not see, like the, horror factor. Well, what about hope factor? But then we get into the major powers, which answers some of those. And you can see how many major powers there are. But again, it's not really what it does and doesn't have. It's just the amount of detail, the amount of chunky goodness, the amount of thought that they put into each individual power. You know, any other superhero game that I know of would just be like, 1 or 2 lines. This power would be 1 or 2 lines. The energy blast would be 1 or 2 lines. You know, it would be range, how much damage it does. They get into the special effects, the bonuses to stats, everything you could possibly think of, they tried to cover. And that is the shining glory of this game. So we'll do the major powers next time. But there you go. There's the minor powers.